Should we lean back, or are we going to see if we're going to lean back? We're going to do the mid-sits.
I just don't want to make it look like we're lax.
We should be all the way up here. And, this is almost too close.
Yeah.
Just have to sit here.
Well, if we lean back, we should have straight back, but then.
Na quarta colocação, camiseta azul, precisando 4,40. Terceira colocação, camiseta branca, precisando 3,35. Na segunda colocação, camiseta amarela, precisando.
How's our audio on the microphones,
Yeah.
you guys? Everything's good?
Audio check, mic check, mic check,
Nice.
mic check 1, 2.
Is the audio good?
Mic
Testing
check.
1, 2, 3. Testing.
Testing.
Testing
1,
1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear it?
Yeah, it seems fine.
Okay.
They'll adjust our levels, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We got some action we've already gone through. The first round of trials. All the trials, men's. We've done one round of women's. This is round 2 of the women's. Joining us now.
What do you say?
Are you yelling at you?
No, they're yelling at each other.
Here's fine, whatever.
Okay. There's no women last year? Oh, hey. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Manny V. With me is David Hubbard, and we are live here in the beautiful town of Itacoatiara, Niterói, Brazil. Dave, this place is amazing. What have you been doing so far?
Well, I've definitely been enjoying the beach. We are in such a gorgeous beach, and this whole region, they call it Região Oceânica, and it's got a number of beaches. It's just gorgeous, and the lifestyle here, it's alive and well.
Yeah, and alive and well right now is the competition. We're in day number 2. We've been going full force for the last 2 days. We have countless competitors. We have a ton of divisions. Where are we right now as far as the division out in the water?
We're in the final remaining minutes of women's round 2, heat number 2. We've got a couple more heats in this round that we're going to be going on into a repecharge to close out the day.
All right, well, let's get right into it. Tell us where we are as far as the standings, as the computer screen where the scores are right to you, right next to you. Go for it.
Well, we've got in red is winning the heat, Rinder. She's got a 10.5 cumulative. She's leading the heat. It's Blue who's in second place. Menzies, who needs a 4.7 to overtake the lead, held by Red. And it's third place Yellow and White place fourth right now.
Well, look at the conditions, right? I mean, we've had similar conditions for the last 2 days. It's about 3 to 4 foot, occasional 5 foot wave coming in, but the sandbar's really tricky out there. And if you're in position, you can get some nice clean waves like that right there from the rider in blue, currently in their second place position.
So she's
she
feeling
is stoked.
it. She's feeling it. She hopes to have secured her slot as moving forward. She might even overtake the lead. We'll have to wait to see what the judges score that. She's coming in with just over a minute and a half remaining.
Is that smart to do? I mean, you have a minute and a half. If she would have cut out of that wave, she could have got it back there a little bit quicker, and maybe even got lucky and caught another perfect wave, maybe a higher scoring wave than what she just had.
I think that's totally possible. But let's look at White now. She's in a situation where she needs this wave to count. She's got a nice open face ahead of her. She's taking all that speed up to the lip and goes for a crazy lip maneuver and just comes unstuck.
Well, I mean, this is a non-elimination round, which means that nobody is going to be knocked out of the event. Up and riding in yellow. Nice clean roll, pulls it off cleanly. A lot of these waves, because of the sandbar, if you don't get that nice runner across the side of the sandbar, you're only going to have these one maneuver waves, and that was not a bad wave for our rider in yellow.
Yeah, it was a nice sized wave, very powerful lip move. So we'll let you know as scores continue to filter in for the last rides. And boy, we have a wonderful heat on our hands. We see some pretty good scores coming through. We'll let you know once we get them.
All right, again, non-elimination round number 2. These are 20-minute heats, and the top 2 riders will bypass the next heat, which means 3rd and 4th place will have to duel it out again in the next round. But they are not going to get knocked out of the contest. This is one of those heats where, you just go out there, give it all you got, and if you advance on in the top 2 spots, you're stoked.
That's exactly right, Manny. And the heat just winding down now. We've got some big scores that came in for red. 7.5 extended her position in first place. Blue did solidify her position in second with a 4.25, and it was yellow getting that 5.05. Just at the end, it wasn't quite enough to move into second, but like you mentioned, she'll be going on into the repecharge, and we're counting down the next heat. It'll be heat number 3 of round 2 in the water. We got Isabela Sousa, Teresa Almeida, Maria Helena Tostes,
Yeah.
and Pamela Simao.
There we go. We have them all right there, and it will be Sosa in red, Almeida in white, Helena in yellow, and Simoa, here we go, up and riding in yellow. Not much there to work with. And what happens with the tide when it starts dropping, it gets all really bumpy. The wind puts a little texture on it, but the sandbar adds that extra little chop to the wave when it crashes down and sends another wave reverberating towards the wave, and it makes it a little bumpy.
Yeah, that's right, man. We are working with a little bit of backwash as the tide drops. There's more of that. Here we're looking at the Portuguese, Almeida, looking at a nice one. Unable to get up to the lip before it closed out on her. But we've got red looking for a Rolo.
Isabela Sousa, the Brazilian, pardon me, but yeah, Isabela, one of the most fierce competitors out in the water wherever she goes, and I mean, she has the skills and talent to be right up there with, in the world title race for sure.
Oh, for sure. She's establishing herself as one of the all-time greats in the realm of women's bodyboarding and has put out amazing clips. She's established herself with amazing results as well. And she's the one to watch here on the home turf of Brazil. And it's the phenom Isabela Sousa in this heat right now, striking first blood. She would have had a maneuver before that roll that we saw go incomplete because she received a 5.5.
She's one of the few competitors that can actually do an ARS or a backflip on call, so it's going to be pretty fun to watch her out in the water. So first few waves have been ridden, and these are 20-minute heats. Dave, you were out there the last couple days getting some free surf sessions. What is your first-hand account on the conditions as far as this time of the day?
Well, it is a terrific beach break that we have here. It's sitting in a cove. It gets a lot of refraction. That's what we see peaking these waves up. The sandbar is helping that as well, kind of accentuating some of the corners that you hope to get onto if you want to get a nice clean lip maneuver. And one thing we've been helped by is there was a tremendously large swell previous to the waiting period, and it dredged the sand out, and it actually formed really nice sandbars. Here we're going to see red.
Isabella taking a look on this left. Look at that speed and just going straight off the top. Nice, clean, extended roll right there, but it looked like she may have dug her nose a little bit too much on that landing and headed straight for the bottom. And look how shallow it is right there. You can see the sandbar in full effect up and riding.
Teresa, she's looking for a nice roll on this one, seeing if she can get ahead of that white water, and she does. Complete ride for her. That'll get her on the board.
I saw Teresa and the Portuguese team in the ISA games a couple years back in Chile, and their team, I think she did pretty well on that competition, and she's definitely a competitor as well.
Yeah, especially being from Nazaré, Praia del Norte, supporting her, putting her and a few other bodyboarders onto the world tour. It's great to see the community there so supportive of their extremely talented locals that they have. And Teresa is going to be posting up a mid-range score, just a little below average, but good to get on the board. We've seen some of the women advance with similar scores, so really, really good to see as we see the set marching in.
Look at this thing, a little bit too far inside, and it looked like she was trying to slow it down a bit before the lips smashes right down on her. And I went out a couple days ago as well. This wave has some power. It is a beach break, but because of the refracting, because of the just direct assault on the beach from the ocean, these waves pack a punch.
They certainly do, and one of the first places it reminded me of was Puerto Escondido, renowned for its powerful beach breaks there in Mexico, and I feel that it's pretty similar. It's very hollow, and it, like you said, it packs a punch, and it can peak up very nicely, and it really comes down to who can kind of negotiate and kind of manage their wave count in these conditions, you know? And it's kind of shifty. It's a beach break, so you got to be aware of where the good peaks are coming in, but at the same time, they don't come in the exact same spot every time. It's not a reef, so they have to kind of navigate these sandbanks to find and access the potential scores that'll get them through.
Again, David Hubbard on the mic, along with myself, Manny V. We're bringing you the live feed from the 2016 Itacoatiara Pro, presented by Furnas. And yeah, I mean, we're due up for another 4 days of live broadcast. We're not 100% sure when those days will be. It's funny because a lot of people are saying that this is a small day, even though we got some powerful 3 to 5 foot waves coming in. You saw a couple 5-footers come in as Isabella was paddling out. And we have our eyes focused on her for some reason. Do you think the cameraman knows that she can throw down when the waves do come in?
Oh, for sure. You know, she's the one to watch, and so camera one being fixated on red, not a bad option, but it does give us a view of, you know, what it kind of looks like to be out there. And you can see her navigating some current and kind of trying to move around, shifting around with these different peaks that come in. But, you know, we've seen some really great action the last 2 days. Yesterday we did round 1 of the men's as well as a round of women's.
Oh, Isabella taking a look, pulls back, but yeah, some of the action that went down.
And just earlier today we completed the men's trials, and we got our 16 trialists who will be joining the men in the main event, round 1, looking to go tomorrow. But Teresa, she's up and riding a very clean roll.
Nice. Beautiful
left-hander. And I think this could be one of the better scores of the heat thus far. We're likely going to see a lead change.
Teresa and Isabella, both of them, you can see them when they drop in. They got that technique down where they just find that speed line and hold on to that and maintain as much speed as they can to be able to pull off those nice, clean limp maneuvers. Here we go.
Blue.
First wave up. Oh.
5.75, the last score for our competitor in white from Portugal. That moves her into the lead. Now she's got a 9.25 cumulative with just under 13 minutes remaining.
Thank you for tuning in. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say Blue is yet to ride a wave, and we're nearing the halfway mark. Yellow with just a short score, and Isabella looking for a backup because she does have the highest score of the heat thus far.
As you can see, it looks like the winds could be coming down as we come to the end of the day here. It is 4 o'clock in Itacoatiara, Brazil. And I've noticed the last couple days the winds calmed down and actually had a little bit of a side shore, almost a side offshore, and cleaned it up a little bit. So this could be the turning point right now to clean up the surf. Isabella standing by in the red jersey.
Yeah, the women would definitely be stoked if that's what they experienced, you know, conditions kind of improving, especially once we get into the repecharge, which will be just 2 heats away. That will be where eliminations will go down. Here's our competitor in white from Portugal. Nice bottom turn. She's hunting down that lip section, gets a clean roll off it, gets a complete ride, and she's out.
So another solid wave right there for the rider in white, Teresa Almeida from Portugal. And taking a look on her first wave of the heat. Nice clean roll, not much speed, not super technical. I don't even know if that's going to be scored as a complete. She's trying.
She really did. Her heart was in it for sure. I would say that was probably incomplete. But I like Teresa's game plan right now, Manny. She's staying busy, but she's been on some of the best waves of the heat. And actually, yes, forgive me, earlier I said that Isabella had the highest score of the heat. It is Teresa with the highest score of the heat, a 5.75. And we're still waiting to see what her backup will be. But right now, she is scoring a 4.85. Yellow up and riding.
All right, looks like Helena, nice, clean. She landed perfectly with the whitewash. As the whitewash was bouncing up off of the water, she landed softly. It was a nice, clean roll. Again, the roll, a very conservative maneuver. Nice, if it's performed perfectly, and you do get launched off of the lip, you're going to score higher. But these moves right here are solid nonetheless. It'll put you in that anywhere between a 5 to 6 point range, depending on how much you get projected. Let's take a look here. Isabella Sosa.
Nice bottom turn up, projected rollo. So we are seeing most of the competitors going for that roll that just was explained by Manny. We do see Yellow had received a 4.65 for her efforts. Teresa up and riding again, scooping into this right-hander.
Oh, was able to negotiate around that lip, but just not enough speed to come up and hit the lip for that roll. But that was a clean turn around, bottom turn around that section. Paddling back out for her third wave, hopefully. That was Helena.
Yeah, and what struck me about Helena's maneuver was that bottom turn. Very crispy, and it's something that we see some of the competitors really able to get a grasp on is the bottom turn, keeping it clean, taking a lot of the speed up into the next maneuver, and the bottom turn is just a real foundation. It's where you need to start every maneuver is a good bottom turn, and so that was great that Helena Tostes was able to perform a beautiful bottom turn on hers. It did earn her a 4.65, so she's now in the game, but still sitting in third place. Isabella has returned into the lead with a 5.15 awarded for her third wave, and it is Teresa Almeida who's continuing to hunt those waves down. She's had the most rides thus far, almost as many rides as all the other competitors combined. And it is Blue with just an incomplete on her first ride, a 1.5.
There is a 10 wave maximum in each one of these heats, and with the waves breaking pretty close to shore, that is totally possible. And for the competitors that are hungry and are all about quantity, it comes down to the top 2 quality waves, as those are the 2 highest scored waves that will be able to get you through the next heat. Again, non-elimination rounds. And how do you, as a competitor yourself, Dave, how do you approach a heat where it's a non-elimination heat? You know you're not going to get knocked out, but then again, there's that bonus if you do come in the top first or second place and bypass a round. How do you approach those kind of heats?
Well, it's like you mentioned. It is a heat that you should feel no pressure in. But if you're able to ride well, you can get that shortcut, that speed track, skip around, and move into round 4. So these ladies are going to be going for it. They don't want to take the risk of winding up in that repecharge heat, which I would say would be pretty intensely stacked. I think we're going to see intense heat there. But here we have our rider in yellow, Helena Tostes, again going for the Rolo.
As we were talking about what some of the action that went down the last day and a half actually. Yesterday morning, I actually was able to take some time and sit down on the beach, put down my sarong, and get comfortable and watch some of the trial rounds. Holy mackerel. The days where you can do a roll and a spin and advance on, I think, are over.
In the men's, they are certainly over. A lot of guys going for the ARS. Pretty much it's the new Rolo for men's.
Yep.
And not too many moves on the wave face. How many spins did you see while you're on the beach?
Exactly right. I've maybe seen one spin throughout the morning, and you're right. And if you can pull off an ARS, land and go straight into another spin, it's like you're already that much above the rest of the field. Backflips, barrels to backflips. I mean,
right.
The competition level from back when my competition days, those days are over. Look at this scene. Oh my God, this is why I love coming back to Itacoatiara.
Here it is.
That is the elephant trunk. If we do get that wide shot, the 2 rocks or the peaks behind that rock actually look like an elephant head, and that is the trunk. Oh, keep pulling back. Oh,
but that's beautiful. That's shot
insane.
Of one end of the beach here in Itacoatiara, and it is just gorgeous. As you could see, the sun just lighting that up. Take us through the replay.
All right, Helena, she's on, I believe that was her 3rd wave, and it was a clean maneuver, and she pulled it off cleanly, and she wrote it out to make sure that the judges saw that was a complete move. And that came in at a 4.15. That was her 3rd wave. She's currently in that 3rd place position with a 5.95 is what she needs to get into that 2nd place spot. And again, non-elimination round. 1st and 2nd bypass the next round. 3rd and 4th, they're going to face off in a repecharge heat.
Our rider on screen in blue, just one ride counting. A 1.5 needs a 9.10 to move up out of 4th position and into an advancing position. We're seeing the ladies getting ready for their heat because we are under the 5-minute marker for the heat in the water. And I'll tell you, the waves are breaking pretty close to the beach. It will not take her very long to paddle back out.
Yeah. But it's nice to be out there and ready to go as soon as that horn starts. Here we go, up and riding.
Blue taking that bottom turn up through the lip. Clean roll. And she's out. So that'll improve her situation, but it won't take her out of 4th position just yet.
Yeah, that was almost an instant replay of what we've seen from Helena. So those scores will probably be quite similar. Again, Helena's last wave was a 4.15, and Paola's wave right here almost exactly the same. It'll be around that same score. Maybe a little less just because the wave was just a tiny bit smaller. But again, judges have been doing a fabulous job throughout. Up and riding. Here we go.
Ooh, throws a spin on the face. Looking for something else. Unable to get that. And she's out.
Well, how's the droning around out there? Some of the highlight reels that we've seen so far have been pretty spectacular. That drone clocking in some serious flying time to get some incredible images. Here's another look at Helena's wave. You
Clean
can see
spin.
That chop.
Yeah,
she
clean
maneuvered
spin,
over that chop.
but she handled the chop. Very, very well pointed out.
Standing by. We got about 3 minutes remaining in this heat.
We did see that Blue was awarded a 3.85 for her last ride. Let's see what the spin is awarded, a 2.50.
Winding down. Wow, look at that shot right
There's
there
the
to the
other end of the beach, and there we just see just such a beautiful Brazilian as we're getting close to sunset time.
Oh, slides under the barrel, under the lip right there. Quick little pocket ride. Won't be a high scoring wave. I mean, if she would have held a higher line and pulled off a roll at the end of that, that may have given her a few more extra points, like right there, punch to the lip and do a roll. But again, she's got the better view than I do right here, sitting in this nice, comfy plastic chair.
But that was cool to see a little bit of a barrel ride. And again, you know, the judge is doing a wonderful job. They're going to reward her for what she did do, and they won't penalize her for what she didn't.
Teresa Almeida in the white jersey, nice clean line, tucks into the barrel, and that's the end of the road for that wave for Teresa Almeida.
She was going for another barrel. Maybe she kind of heard that there's barrels going down, and her previous ride from the other competitor was in the barrel. Looks like she got a 3.75 for that little pocket ride. And waiting for scores for Teresa, 1.25, very short score. Won't go into her score line. She still needs 4.90 to attack first position held by Isabella Sousa with 1.5 minutes remaining. This is crunch time, Manny.
As a competitor, I know you're keeping tabs on the forecast. What do you see in the forecast?
From what I've heard, there is some waves to be ridden, and I think we're going to be doing some days of competition surely. Then we might go into break mode as we await better conditions, but we've got plenty of competition to run through with 3 divisions here. Look at blue. This wave is a smoker. Look how clean that wave face was.
Oh no, a little bit of mistiming right there as she miscalculated her bottom turn as her timing was off. That's all there is to it. She was going to go for a roll at the end of that wave, but she released her rail a little bit too early and came up short.
But you were right about the conditions. You could see on that left-hander that the wave face was a bit cleaner. It was a great wall that just, kind of was peeling off nicely. Here's white. Teresa Almeida. Nice bottom turn, up into a roll. Not sure if that'll be the 4.90 she needs to attack first position held by Isabella Sousa. She's going to milk this wave all the way onto the sandbar. And we'll have to see as the heat counts down, just a few seconds left. Here's the replay. Nice kind of through the lip roll there. And it will be Isabella Sousa and Teresa Almeida moving on into round 4. We'll see the rest of the girls in round 3.
Heat number 4 of round number 2 due up right now, and again, non-elimination round. Top 2 competitors bypass the next round, and 3rd and 4th place in this heat will head into the repecharge round. 20 minutes have started. Again, 20-minute heats. Top 2 waves will be scored. There is a 10-wave maximum, and I usually don't mention that, but because these waves are breaking pretty close to shore, it's almost possible to hit that 10-wave mark for some of these strong, fierce competitors. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Experimente Cotton folha dupla. A suavidade e a maciez do algodão. Cotton, surpreenda-se.
Welcome back, everybody.
Sua concessionária SGA Toyota, com 26 anos de mercado, entende que para ser referência no segmento automotivo é preciso mais do que um excelente atendimento. Tem a ver com espírito. Nossa identidade é o espírito Viva Seu Toyota. Prezamos por um bom relacionamento com os nossos clientes para que eles se sintam felizes por serem proprietários de um Toyota. Esperamos que você também viva seu Toyota e se sinta livre para encarar qualquer desafio.
Welcome back, everybody. Here we go, up and riding. We do have our rider,
Sadi Ohata.
Sadi Ohata coming out strong with the first wave of the heat. Heat number 4, round number 2. Again, David Hubbard on the mic, along with myself, Manny V. Live feed from the 2016 Itacoatiara Pro, presented by Furnas.
Here we see a replay. Sario Hara, just a vicious competitor, goes up for a nice, clean, extended roll. Very smooth, totally complete. She ducks out, and she'll be getting the first wave of the exchange, a 6.0. We've got some legends in this heat. Here we have yellow Mila Viana.
Nice, clean extension right there. How's that landing? A little arch right there to show you that, yep, that was completed smoothly. Maeda Viana with a nice clean roll in the yellow jersey. Neymar will be in white and Joanna in blue. Wow, 6 points for Sario Hara's first wave. Solid first wave. And that's what you want to do out in these 20-minute heats. Come out firing, get that 5-6 point wave under your belt, and then you have the rest of the heat to improve on that.
Yeah, at this point, that's a keeper of a score. Here we see yellow. Nice, smooth bottom turn. Gets up, nice clean roll. Lands it safely and dives out of there.
That was pretty smooth. Nice, clean execution. Here's another little paddle battle right now, and it is red. Sario Hara taking hold of this one, drives around that section with a ton of speed, punches through the roll, punches through the lip, and pulls off a roll and flicks that hair back in a solid claim.
Yeah, if we could give points for the head whip, that would be easy 7-5, but we'll wait for the judges because they're just going to score the roll. They're not going to score that head whip. But that was nice and clean. Certainly was. I'll let you know that yellow got a 6.75 for her roll. We're looking at Sario Hara to possibly overtake that. We'll see. Waiting for one more score to lock in from the judges. Important score.
This heat could be a final. You mentioned that this is a stacked heat, and I'm looking over the names one more time, and yeah, this is a pretty tough heat number 4 for an early round run. But yeah, we got former world champion Neymar Carvalho in the white jersey out there. Joanna, she is from
Portugal.
Yes, and she's holding it down too. Here we go, up and riding in yellow. Maeda, nice roll off the top. She's got an opportunity to get another maneuver, but does not get ahead of that whitewash. But another clean wave right there. So 2 waves so far from red and yellow, while white and blue still standing by. So Sadi waving her hand, saying, hey, judges or commentator, give me the heads up on what's going on as far as scores and time.
And as the commentator on beach announcer gives her the information, we'll tell you that 4.75 awarded for yellow's second ride. And we could see just from the initial rides ridden that this is a heat that is of a higher caliber. We see 3 rides higher than any others that we've seen thus far during the production webcast. There's a nice roll. She kind of sits in the pocket right after. The wave just doesn't quite allow her another opportunity to get a lip move, but she was pretty close to getting that second lip maneuver. Had she done that, I would dare say that she would have moved up into the good, possibly almost into the excellent range. But as it stands, we're waiting for white and blue to get their campaign started in this 4th heat of women's round 2.
And there's Sari again waving her hands, trying to get the heads up on what's going on. And yeah, the beach commentator throwing out the numbers. That definitely helps as far as, you know, you're sitting out there. You got 2 waves. You want to know what your scores are. You want to know what time is left in this heat. Then you can use that in your strategy to either, I guess we will call it, sit on another competitor or just wait for the bigger, better waves.
Well, I don't think there is priority in these 4-man heats. Even in the 4 women heats, I don't think they've established the priority setting. Not totally sure if they're using it or not, but for Sari, yet just knowing that she's sitting in first position and the total that she's winning by, that'll be very helpful. She'll be able to know what others need to attack her position, as well as how to approach the remaining minutes in the heat. because there's still plenty of time, and we've mentioned a few times white and blue have yet to ride any waves. So if she could, whether she decides to go and sit where white and blue are, or whether she just plays her own game, that'll be all things that she considers, but she wants that valuable information, and that's why she was waving her hands frantically for the last several minutes.
Well, she got what she was asking for, so now she's going to, I think she was probably going to chill out for a second, wait for those bigger sets to get bigger numbers than what she already has. So what's going through Neymara in white and Joanna in blue's minds right now with no waves, and already 8 minutes have gone by?
Well, they're certainly capable competitors, so they're really hoping for something big. They've heard that the scores for the first 3 rides of this heat were in the 6 range, so that they know that, this is kind of fascinating. We believe that she's in the heat right now. There we see her on the beach. Is that Neymara? No, that's somebody from the next heat.
Yeah, she's getting ready.
Oh, she was playing the lookalike contest for a second there.
I thought that was her too. That's incredible.
So, Neymara, super capable, previous champion. She's very mindful of, getting onto some of the better waves here. So she wants to really show her stuff. We have a paddle.
Oh, it seems like there's a party going on in our next room over here. Let's get their attention to tone it down a little bit. But yeah, out in the water, we do have our waiting patiently.
Riders are waiting patiently.
So far, Sadio Hara looking really strong. That's the kind of heat you want to have, where you come out solid, 2 solid waves, and now you got time in your hands. And on the opposite side of the coin, you got Neymara and Joanna. Both have yet to catch a wave. Now they're stressing with 11 minutes remaining in this 20-minute heat. It's a matter of just getting a couple waves now just to get it going. Here we go. Finally, Neymara, pulls back. Nothing there for her. You can see it's just shutting down right there. It's all about being in that right place right now as far as these conditions are changing throughout the entire day.
Yeah, right place, right time. Very important. And here we got Neymara on a smoker.
Oh, get out of there.
She got some awesome travel time.
Oh, my
She's
goodness.
not quite going to make it out of that. But wow, what a ride for Neymara. I love the bottom turn as she's scooped into that barrel. Here we got red. Sadio Hara, she's up and riding. Nice through the lip. Getting a projected roll again. So we're going to see scores coming through for Neymara. Their judges are going to take into account the travel time. Let's watch this, Manny.
Wow, you're right. Look at that bottom turn. Just a huge amount of speed just driven off that bottom turn. And that's the sign of a true world champion, former world champion Neymara. But she could not come out of that barrel. Finally, her first wave.
Blue, Joanna Schenker. Here she pulls in, and she was getting a barrel traveling as well. Very similar ride to Neymara, how, it was a beautiful set wave. It was just shaping up beautifully at the start. They were able to execute solid bottom turns, but then the wave didn't allow them to escape the tube that they got in there.
What could they both have done differently to come out of that barrel or to even get in and maneuver?
Well, I would say, maybe traveling and then through the lip maneuver right there, right when you see your options are closing out, and maybe escape later. Or, maybe just go for the lip move right off the start. There's the big hope that you can gain a little bit more speed, track down the wave just a little further. You don't always necessarily want to drop in and continue straight up into the lip for a roll, especially when the wave looked like it was going to offer them a nice, clean canvas. So, I think they rode those waves pretty well, and just unfortunate that they weren't able to escape the barrel.
We have this little paddle battle going on right now with Neymara and Joanna. Both of them only 1 wave under their belt and low-scoring waves. And it looks like who is going to be in position? Yellow looking down on the left. Oh, they're splitting the peak. We're going to stay on Neymara. Oh, gets caught behind the lip. Does not make it around that section. and it looked like we may have had a couple riders on the left. But you saw Neymar. She got held down for a few seconds right there. Again, a lot of power behind these waves.
Oh, yeah, certainly is, especially, with the wave size just being, slightly overhead. And to get a hold down like that, that is what is kind of visual evidence that this wave, as you said, Manny, packs a punch. Yellow up and riding.
Maida, nice, clean, extended roll again. She's got those down, and she does pull it off, pulls out in front of the whitewash, so the judges know that is a completed maneuver.
I like that roll. I like that.
Clean.
It was clean. It was powerful, I felt, too. So I think she's able to differentiate herself just a little bit, and she's moved into the lead with the 6.65. She has the 2 highest scores of the heat at this point, so she's now sitting in a comfortable first place. Sario Hara needs a 7.15, but it's Neymar Carvalho on this great left-hander. She's going to throw a reverse spin in, hoping to milk a Rolo off the end section. Will she ride out of it? And no, just incomplete.
Yeah, she went for that roll in the very critical part of that wave where it's just going to dump into the shallow sandbar, and if you're not quick on your maneuvers, you're not going to pull it off.
Here's that 6.65 roll. You notice that she was able to push through, and it was a powerful section. So doing a clean rotation there, it wasn't, like the other rolls we've seen. I think she was able to differentiate herself. Here is Neymara's wave. Just kind of an incomplete replay for you, but the wave was ultimately an incomplete ride. She was awarded a 3.25.
Here it is again.
We're going to have another shot at it. She's going to throw the reverse spin, very clean, but still dealing with some chop like that other spin you mentioned in the last heat, Manny.
Very uncharacteristic to not pull that maneuver off at the very end of that wave. I wonder what happened.
Sadi on a really nice looking wave.
Oh.
Bit bumpy as she bottom turns and just ducks out.
She's got to be, oh my, does she even break 100 pounds? She's so lightweight that a little chop will just knock her off everywhere.
Yeah, that is true. But it's Blue logging in a 7.25. I think
she was on that left.
It was the split peak. You're right, Manny. It was the split peak that she split with our rider in white, Neymar Carvalho. And now Joanna Schenker needs only a 4.75. So now Joanna has the highest wave score of this heat. And this is a battle royale. On paper, you'd think maybe Neymar Carvalho on her home turf could, take this heat out fairly easily. But as we've mentioned, this is a very stacked heat. We're approaching the 5-minute mark, and it is any woman's game.
Wow, man. Yeah, starting off with the fierce charge from Sario Hara in the red jersey, and then Maida going head-to-head for the first couple waves. It's still not over. I mean, both Neymar and Joanna still have a shot as we see the riders in the next heat. Looks like Marta in yellow and Nicole in red will be heading out in the water right now. They got that 5-minute. Whoa, did the clouds come over?
It looked sunny on the beach when the ladies were paddling out just now, but yeah, maybe there's a shadow in the lineup. Also, the sun is setting behind that hill.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah, the sun might still be on the beach, but the hill is shading the water. And now we see the ladies are also entering into the twilight.
It's actually really beautiful here in Itacoatiara. Sario Hara from Japan taking a nice clean bottom turn. Look at that thing just starting to barrel on that inside sandbar. Nice clean roll right there from Sadi. Sadi looking really good out there.
She is, and I'll tell you what I liked about that wave was she is sitting. Oh, let's talk about Blue first, though. Here's Joanna. If she can get that 4.75, she can move ahead. Clean section. Nice roll. She's going to keep going and hope for another move. And she's able to stay on her board, but that will get her closer, and she'll move up a position, potentially. Actually, we're not totally sure if she'll move up or not, but boy, these These heats are close, and it's a 5.4 for Sadi's last ride, and it's a 4.25 for Joanna. So she will remain in third place. She's just shy half a point from attacking second place, held by Sadi.
I would not put it past Neymar of getting that 9-point ride. She is totally capable of that. But first,
Our heat leader in yellow getting a heavy drop and diving out of that closeout. She's able to get out the back.
Neymar currently in that 4th place position in the white jersey, needing that 9-point ride, and she's been in this position before, so I don't see her stressing out too much. But knowing that this is a non-elimination round definitely will tone down the pressure as well. Again, top two riders will advance on to, they will skip the next round. 3rd and 4th place will go into a repechage heat, where that is where they will face elimination. Possible elimination.
Exactly. So it is, it's not too much of a pressure situation for Neymar and Joanna. But, hey, would be great. They can still attack first and second. Here we have our heat leader in yellow.
Oh, nice little cover up right there. She's got time, or she's got a little section coming at her. Punching a nice little roll on the inside. But a cover up and a roll for Mayra Viana. Wow,
Very cool.
She's pretty much
She's
stomping through
going
this
for it. Yeah, this is a great battle between her and Sadi for first and second, and they're exchanging blows. 4.25 awarded for Mayra's last wave. There's a few minutes, just under 2 minutes remaining for white and blue to still go for the gusto and try to move ahead and skip round number 3.
What is possible in 1 minute and 20 seconds in a heat? Everything.
Anything and everything, except for certain things that aren't really possible. But yes, almost anything. But in a wave like Itacoatiara, where the paddle out's fast, they could ride 2 waves in the amount of time that's left. We're now down to 1 minute. Still, that would be possible. But they're really just looking for one sick one. They're looking for one good one. Nerves of steel for Neymar. She's been sitting. She's only ridden 3 waves this 20-minute heat, and we're approaching the 40-second mark. Joanna's had just one more ride than her, 4 rides. Joanna does have the highest score of the heat, that 7.50 that was on the split peak situation. And so let's see what happens in the final 20 seconds.
That's a perfect time to mention uriding.com. We do have the event in the game, so you can play and ride Itacoatiara Pro in the uriding The Journey video game. Download it at uriding.com. You'll find the links there for your Android or iOS phone. Neymar taking a look. And you can buy the jerseys too, which is pretty cool. Here we go. Neymar on the last wave of the heat. Goes for a reverse. Nice clean. Comes down to the section and just gets cleaned up by the force of that wave just running across the sandbar.
Whoa.
Oh my
She
gosh.
might have caught that within the time. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to count. But had she completed that reverse, came up and done a big roll, wow, she would have been knocking on the door. But I think at this point we will be seeing Joanna and Neymar later today in that repechage. We're moving on into the first heat of the repechage right now. Round 3, heat number 1. Nicole and
Cajeros.
and
Well, you know what? We'll come back to you with the names of the next heat. Don't go anywhere. 2016 Itacoatiara Pro with David Hubbard and myself, Manny V, bringing you the live feed here in the beautiful beaches of Itacoatiara. Out in the water, what do we got?
We've got Marta Leteão, we've got Nicole Calieros, we've got Mrs. Setubal, and Karina Carvalho.
All right, so there you go. The colors are on your screen. And again, we've already had 2 waves drop down for yellow and blue. Those are getting tallied up right now as we speak. That's why you don't see them on your screen. But again, conditions, looks like the cloud cover came in, or the shadows of the mountains have taken over the beach here. Nonetheless, there are 3 to 5 foot waves coming in, a little texture from the wind, but a lot of chop from the refraction going on either side of the beach here at Itacoatiara.
We're still seeing some open faces, and we are seeing opportunity for lip moves. The ladies have been doing their fair share of rolos, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see them kind of going and pushing the envelope, going for something a little bit more extreme. This is on the line for advancement. Here's your elephant.
Oh, there it is.
There you see to your far left is the one ear. In the center of those 2 bumps
Yes,
is the head.
that's so cool.
That's the trunk coming down, as Manny said, the 3-dimensional. It's really reaching out into the shoreline. But there was the elephant. We used the elephant on a lot of the logo artwork and graphics for this iconic event. This has solidified its place in the bodyboarding world, and it is definitely known for the powerful sandbar, pretty much heaving shore break that it provides. And I tell you, you saw some of those big images during the commercial break. Huge waves possible. We just had some pretty big waves a few days ago, which has provided us with some really good sandbars, and the women are out there putting the show on for us. The top 2 from this Reprecharge heat will move on to round 4.
All right, drawing first blood in this heat was the rider in right, Setubal. Not much there. 1 maneuver wave, but taking a look at this, it is Marta Leteão. Clean roll through the top. Will she pull this off? There's so much power behind these waves that if you don't land perfectly, you're just going to get careened over.
That has been happening quite often, not only in the women's, but in the men's as well, and also in the juniors. Little junior guys getting kind of manhandled by these elephant-sized waves.
Sorry, I just got that. I was looking at my screen and I just heard elephant-sized waves. And on the forecast, we are hoping for some of that early next week, as we got 4 more days of live broadcasting here from the Itacoatiara Pro. So make sure you stay tuned on the APB Tour Facebook page. That is where most of the information is going to drop. We know a lot of you are on Facebook, and this is the best way to give you that information. Also, our Instagram has been blowing up as well. Hashtag Itacoatiara Pro. And again, I think I mentioned it just a few minutes ago, but you can play this wave in the Journey bodyboard game from uriding.com. Here's the last wave from Marta Leteão, the Portuguese.
And she was a little late going up for that rolo. That's why she was so far behind the white water and was kind of served up a pretty heavy little beatdown, even though the wave was only about head high. A lot of power, and had she gotten there just a little bit earlier, she might have been able to eke her way out in front of the wave for a completed maneuver. But so far, very short scores, just incompletes thus far in this first Reprecharge Heat 1 of round 3. After this, we'll be doing the second Reprecharge of round 3, and we'll be calling it a day. And we'll be bringing you live action tomorrow. We're looking so far to be doing another full day of competition tomorrow, looking at a possible start for the men's round 1 as well as the juniors, but we're still going to wait for the official call of that tomorrow. So we'll have to tune in early to find out what we're going to be doing as far as the competition is concerned tomorrow, but conditions will likely remain fairly similar, which is very contestable Today we saw some air reverses, inverts, plenty of backflips and arces done by the men's in the trials rounds. And we've completed the men's trials, so now we have set the stage for men's round 1 to begin.
It's going to be pretty action-packed for the next 4 days of live broadcast. I'm really excited to see what everybody's going to throw down. If they get that perfect lip thrown at them, I mean, it's going to be pretty insane.
It is. Even in the free surfs, we've seen competitors free surfing just going for inverses, which is the invert to air reverse. We've seen large air reverses, large inverts. We've seen plenty of big punts, as we call them, and that has been just all happening in the free surfs, kind of in the corners of the competition area. This beach is very peaky and occasionally actually wedgy. Here we have Oura Setebul. She's going for it. Nice clean roll. First completed maneuver thus far in the heat, and we've got a huge set out the back, Manny.
Yes, the 5-footers are starting to roll in towards the middle of this heat, dropping in down the shoulder. Nice clean bottom turn all the way around the section. That was Nicole in the red jersey, one of the local girls here in Brazil. Just had a baby boy.
A new mother. The baby boy is just a few months old, and she's put herself in the condition where she is ready to compete on the world stage, and she's here at the Itacoatiara Pro, and she doesn't want to go home yet. She's going to be fighting her way through this repechage, trying to make it into round 4, and I tell you what, Manny, with waves like that, she can do it.
Yeah, she's back for more, back for business, and she's thrown it down with a nice clean roll. How did that come in?
5.25. Best wave thus far. And Setebul also receiving a fairly average score. Still waiting for one judge to lock in for that one. 4.25 cumulative for her. So here we see Nicole's wave a whole point better than Setebul's. Nice clean roll. Mind you, it was a set wave. Everything was clean. So that score comes in just a notch above average. But as we've been seeing in the last several heats, that is a keeper score, and she's hoping to hang on to that and go out there and possibly even improve upon it.
Yeah, it's funny. Kalani Latanzi and Dudu Pedra, some of the locals here, call this a small day, even though it's 3 to 4 5-foot waves coming in. You put these waves in on the east coast of the U.S. or even in California, and these would be some really fun, very crowded waves for sure. But again, this place can get really heavy and super, super hollow. We're hoping for that to come in early next week.
Yeah, we are definitely hoping for another solid pulse of swell to come in at some point during the waiting period. But until it presents itself, we're going to be continuing to move through the competition. We do have 3 divisions here at the Itacoatiara Pro. We have the Pro Junior division. We have the women's, which we're watching now, which will be moved into round 4 after this repechage, these 2 heats of round 3 that we're watching live. And of course, we've got the men's. This is the it's a 4-star, I believe, for the men's. So this is the highest rated event thus far of the year. Here we have a rider in white, Setebul. She's staying active. She's getting a complete roll, and she's paddling back out already. Yellow.
All right, looks like Marta Letao from Portugal. Another clean roll right there. Just clocking in that conservative maneuver right there, pulls it off clean and kicks out. There's just so much power behind these waves. Even on that 2-foot whitewash, you saw her struggle a little bit. Up and riding. Oh, ducks out of that pretty quick. Karina Calvaro, another Portuguese, I believe from maybe that Azores?
I am not totally
sure. I'm
sure,
going to double check on that.
But that was a nice wave. It looked clean from our angle, Manny, but you saw that she had to negotiate several chops, and it bobbled her enough that she figured, I better get out of this thing before it closes out on me and holds me under.
That first session I had here a couple days ago, there was a couple waves where I pulled in and just got beat. And before I went to bed, I don't know if you have the nose drainage, but man, there was a waterfall coming out.
Here we see a replay. Nice roll for yellow. That was Marta Leitão. And she gets onto the board with a 4.5. puts her in second position for now. Leading the heat is the one who's been the most active, a rider in white. But it is Nicole who has the highest highest score of the heat thus far. And she's sitting in third.
So she only needs another wave, another solid wave, and she can get right back into that first place position. Totally doable. We have 8 minutes remaining out of this 20-minute heat.
And she only needs a 1.05 to move in a second.
That's it.
So that's super doable as long as she paddles into one.
I will admit, and I know you're going to back me up on this, but there is just beauty in the air. I mean, there's like this natural beauty in Brazil that is just something's in the water, something's growing on the plants that everybody's eating and digesting to produce beauty.
Beauty, yeah, and whether it's a nutritional manifestation or whether it's just in the aura and the energy of the inhabitants of this beautiful country, I would agree with you that it is a beautiful place, naturally as well as anthropologically.
Yes, you are 100%. We just saw Neymara. She's coming up in the next heat. She ended up in third or fourth place position in that previous heat. So now she's in the repechage heats coming up next. Neymara, she actually ran for a government position in her hometown. She didn't pull it off, but she now is recognized as one of those community leaders to make things happen.
That's awesome. It's wonderful to see people of the water, bodyboarders and such, stepping up into that political role where they are very mindful of the community and the people who live in them, and that's great. We're seeing some waves approaching now, so let's see if there's some more scores to be put on the board because time is winding down. We're 6.5 remaining in this first repechage of round 3.
This is elimination. I mean, the top 2 riders will advance on, and third and fourth place, they will be eliminated from the event. Wow, you can see the sandbar right there and see the backwash. That's causing some of the turbulence on some of the face of the wave. So this is a great shot to show you. And look at that peak down the beach. Oh, doctor.
Oh, doctor.
If it's not hitting the sandbar just right, most of these waves are closing out. But if you get a shoulder and that runs along the sandbar,
here's a corner,
stuck.
And we see red and yellow taking a look. Looks like no ride.
Thank you all for tuning in. If you guys get this last quick memo that we are going live today, thank you for tuning in. If you are watching, we will be looking for you online. Here we go, up and riding. Nice clean bottom turn through the lip roll. Cannot pull it off. Again, a lot of power behind that whitewash as soon as it hits that sandbar. You made a comparison, and I totally agree, but 2-foot whitewash here, pretty similar to the 2-foot whitewash in Porto Escondido, where it can bulldoze you off your board at any given moment.
Oh, totally. I think that's part of the hollowness of the wave as it gets into this shallow sandbar. It all throws over. You know, some waves kind of roll and kind of tumble as they approach the shore, but this stands up and all throws at once, and that's why we have heaving waves, some really thick barrels, and heavy sections as well, all of which are beautiful for the sport of bodyboarding, allowing us bodyboarders to do exactly what we want, which is pull into deep tunnels or tubes and get those big aerial maneuvers.
With the amount of sand moved from that last swell, what can we expect as far as the conditions? Is this sand going to continue to move, or will we have these kind of conditions throughout the next few days at least?
The sand will continue to move, but it's likely that we will have similar conditions for the next several waves. It will depend on how much swell we have. If it does start to drop, we will see the beach build itself back up. Split peak scenario, white and yellow, going for a nice clean roll for white. That's our active heat leader. And yellow didn't need much. Not sure what she did on her wave, but if she's able to get a 3-4 or more, depending on the last wave of Setúbal, she could attack the lead, but we're seeing some very similar scores come through. It's likely that we're going to see Setúbal hold her first position.
Nice.
There's the replay. Nice clean roll. 4.55, her best, and a 4.25 for Marta Leitão puts her in a solid second position, and it is Nicole with that 5.25 and no other rides who's waiting to attack second and or first position. Only needs a 3.5. Totally doable, but time is what's holding her back, as well as this rip that we've seen enter the competitors' area. We've got 3 minutes remaining, Manny.
That rip has been flaring up throughout the day. There's actually a couple of those areas where the rip just seems to start and just rip through the lineup. That could work in your favor if you get the wave that runs into it. It could stay open, but that's going to be tricky. If you don't get that wave, it's going to be really choppy and bumpy to maneuver on the face of the wave if the rip current is not in your favor. Those things can be nasty, and they have this pull. They don't necessarily pull you down. They just have it's just water making its way back out into the ocean. So it will pull you out, but not under. So
it also affects the way that the waves come in. You know, sometimes it'll peak them up, and it can have a beneficial effect. But sometimes it just creates a chaotic swirl of extra water moving, and it disrupts the natural formation of the wave. So it can go either way, and as we've seen, competitors tend to move out of the rip current and try to get on either side of it. It's rare that we'll see a competitor stay directly in a rip current and do the opposite of what you're supposed to do and paddle directly towards the beach. Safety issue for the rip current is always paddle parallel to shore.
You see 2 blue jerseys out in the water. Neymara on your left. She is in the next heat, so she's just standing by. She should be off to the side and not in the middle of the contest area.
Nicole, she needed that wave to count, and she was unable to get a maneuver off for it. She's going to be getting a stick for it, and a stick would be a term for a 1.0. So that does not change her situation. She's still sitting in third position. We've got 1 minute left. Blue looking. Also yellow. Yellow with the roll. We'll let you know if blue did something if we get the replay. Looks like a short score coming in for both riders. Just a 1.25 for both. Closing in on the 32nd point. And this is a make or break heat, Manny. It's elimination, first and second. Moving on to round 4. Third and fourth will be finished with their Itacoatiara campaign. Just approaching 10 seconds.
You can see Karina's anxious and anxiety right there, looking at that last wave. She knows she needs another wave. This 7.25 is what she needs. Don't think this is gonna do anything for her, so oh my goodness.
I tell you, Manny, that was a tough battle because Nicole had an amazing run, but wasn't able to complete it. She ends up in third.
We're going to come back with the full official results once we come back from these commercials.
Existe uma energia que impulsiona nossos atletas a irem além. É uma energia positiva, presente no ar, na água, no solo. Essa mesma energia que apoia o esporte brasileiro também impulsiona o Brasil. Essa é a energia de Furnas, uma empresa que acredita e investe no desenvolvimento do Brasil. Hoje, mais de 40% da energia do país passa por Furnas. E isso não para por aí, porque assim como os atletas que apoiamos, queremos ir sempre além. Furnas, energia que impulsiona o Brasil.
Experimente Cotton folha dupla, a suavidade e a maciez do algodão. Cotton, surpreenda-se.
Existe uma energia que impulsiona nossos atletas a irem além.
Chegamos à última bateria do dia. Lembramos que amanhã a primeira chamada acontecerá às 6:30 da manhã.
Back to the live action. Here we go. 2016 Itacoatiara Pro, presented by Furnas. David Hubbard and Manny V here giving you the live feed.
And it was Neymar Carvalho drawing first blood with a 4.5. Beautiful way to start this second repecharge heat of round 3. A nice spin. Now she goes for that roll, Manny. That's what she was looking for. That's what she was unable to do in her previous heat. She's able to complete it here, and that gets her into first position as we start this heat.
Wow, you can see Karina and Martha. They've been travel buddies on this trip, and Karina, you can tell she's really frustrated right now. She did not make it through that last heat. Martha, I believe she did. So they're having a little powwow right there to talk about what went down. Now out in the water, we have the last heat of the day, I believe.
This is the last heat of the day. And our competitors are out there. Here's Yellow looking for a late roll through the lip. Incomplete for Simão.
That looked like she was forcing that maneuver right there. There was not much there. Conditions look pretty nice. And look at this, red up and riding.
Beautiful wave for Helena Tostes. Nice spin. Let's see if she can get that roll. And she does. Very similar to Neymara's wave. Let's see if the scores reflect that. Leave that up to the judges because they are the professionals. I've had time and a chance, so have you, Manny, to go up there and check it out. They've got a beautiful area to judge from. Here's that real late roll from Yellow.
Yeah.
Incomplete. 1-5 for that score.
Whoa, look at this.
Huge bomb coming in.
This is one of the bigger waves of the heat so far. Not in position, wasn't able to pull that off. That was Neymara. So Neymara, she knows this is an elimination heat. Only the top 2 riders will advance on. 3rd and 4th, we'll call it a day and event. So that'll be the end of the road for them. So this is it. 20 minutes, actually 16 and a half minutes remaining in this heat.
I tell you what, Helena Tostes must be stoked. Here it is, 6.0. Clean spin. And I tell you what, the difference was the wave allowed her to get more speed and approach that section just with a little bit more vigor. Clean roll and completes it very smoothly. 6-point ride.
That's how you want to start your heat right there. Nice solid wave. Now you got one more wave. Now you can take your time a little bit, but not too much.
Exactly, not too much, because we remember what happened to Nicole in the last heat. She started with a 5.75, very similar score.
Yep.
And then she paddled back out and didn't ride another one until the closing minute of the heat, and it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, so they all understand that this is you know, we're down to the wire as far as the end of the road for them. If they don't get those 2 solid waves, that's it. They're gonna have a Noi beer tonight.
That's it. But we've got about 15 minutes remaining, so we're starting to see some of the initial scores that are going to start counting. It's Joanna Schenker, who had a very slow start to her last heat, kind of in a similar situation. It didn't pay off for her last time. Let's see if she changes her game or if she gets a little more active. She's certainly being selective.
Wow, it was, what was it? It was like 4 o'clock where the shadows just came in, the shade. The sun does go down pretty early. I think, 6 o'clock, maybe 5:30? And I just came from San Diego where the sun is coming up early and going down really late, which I love. I think it goes down closer to 8:30. It's pretty awesome. But here, 5:36.
Yeah, we're running about 12 hours of light. You know, it starts getting just about light at 6 a.m. and gets dark at about 6 a.m.
Look at this wave coming in. Red taking a look. These are the bigger waves, and if it's not hitting the sandbar perfectly, it's going to be closing out as that one did right there. So if you can get one of these big ones, with a shoulder, you're pretty stoked. Look at this, a little paddle battle. Blue taking a look.
Oh, no ride. No ride. Patricia Setabul. That was her name. It was Patricia.
Lifeguards on duty here at Itacoatiara, holding it down, making sure everybody's safe and out of the contest area. I think the jet ski went out a few times just to make sure get people stay out of the zone.
I tell you, this beach is packed. When there's no contest, there could be about 100 people. Red up and riding. She wants another big score. She turns over a Rolo at the top of that wave. She'll get a below average score for that, but it's a great way to continue her campaign and stay active. Blue. Here it is. Neymara looking for a big move. Nice clean roll.
Oh,
she's so close. She was so close to pulling it.
She became unglued on that landing right there. Again,
I tell you, that was going to be a huge score had she landed it, Manny.
It was one of the bigger waves, bigger rolls, but again, a lot of power behind this whitewash, and she couldn't hold on. She's got to dust that off, get back out there. She's got about 12 minutes and 30 seconds remaining to catch 2 more solid waves. But I'm looking at the score card on our screen over here. Helena is the only one who has solid scores on her score sheet. Joanna has yet to catch a wave. Paola has 1 wave, and here's another look. Tell us what happened.
Here it was. Big roll, and she had to negotiate some of the V. We see that she was still on her board right after the landing, but she was negotiating so much whitewater. She did get overpowered. I would dare say that could have reached up into the 7 range had she completed it, because she attacked the lip with so much speed, and it was so clean and smooth. It was great. It was awesome, and she was so close to landing it. Hopefully she can get some more opportunities for those high risk, high reward maneuvers. But there's only so much daylight left, and there's only so much time left in this heat. Here we see a non-competitor blatantly disregarding the contest area. No surprise, he is on a pocket tape, and hopefully the lifeguards get him out of the area and keep this competitor area sterile.
Yeah. Yeah, any other day. Oh, hold on. Hold that thought. Here we go. Joanna's first wave. Nice clean bottom turn.
Wow.
Nice pocket ride. Oh.
So to me, this was a beautiful right-hand wave. It was clean. It was offering her a lot, but I feel that it was just a little bit greedy to think it was going to shack out and let her out. Remember the exchange in her last heat? It was a nice bottom turn into a nice right-hander. It didn't let her out there. So had she gone right up, she could have pulled an arse.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what she was thinking when she went through that second section. I think she must have thought she would be able to make it out, but right when the doggy door opened up, she should have went up through the lip. But I mean, we got a better view from here. Here's another right-hander.
Here we got Neymara. Powerful roll. Powerful roll. She's going to complete that.
Ooh, look at this. Nice
wow.
Clean face, but she got caught behind that little warble there, but was able to punch through the lip, but I don't think that's going to be enough power. She lost her speed and wasn't able to pull that off.
Oh, look at this. This is Neymara. Nice roll. Pretty powerful. Completes it. And we're going to see something around a 5 being dropped for Neymato's wave. It is exactly a 5.25, and it puts her in first position. Now it's Elena Tostes in second position, our rider in red on screen. And yeah, very good point Manny brought up, but let's look at white, Joanna Schenker.
Nice clean roll right there. Lands perfectly in front of the wave. That is what you're going to keep doing just to make sure you get a solid ride under your belt. It'll be in the 4 to 5 point range, and that's the conservative maneuver, the roll. I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't want to say it's an easy move, but it's one of those moves that you can use the direct power of the wave to roll over and pull off.
Let's check a replay. She's clawing her way back into the second half of this heat. Nice bottom turn. Clean execution. Just a really nice roll all around. We are going to see a mid-range score come in for Joanna, but that is going to give her access to attack second and first position. She's currently in third, but that is going to be a big improvement. She will only be needing a short score once this final score gets logged in. It is a 5.5. So now she's only needing a 3.76. This is an exciting heat. This is an exciting finish.
All right, I'm wondering if our production guys can get the scores on the screen for you, but another clean roll right there. That was Marta.
Paula
so,
Simão.
Yeah, you're right.
That's going to log in at somewhere around a 4 point. We'll give you the official score once it's logged in. 3.90 for Yellow's last ride. She's still sitting in fourth. Now needing a 5.36 to move into second. It's Joanna who needs the 3.76 to attack second place, held by Red, who's got a total of 9.25. And it's Neymara Carvalho with a 9.5 cumulative, sitting just a quarter point above her opponent in second.
Looks like the sun did go down, so we are competing in the twilight hours of the day, and this is the last 6 minutes or 7 minutes of the heat. Talk really quick about the quiver. I mean, we got a little bit of time. The quiver, some of the bodyboarders, a little bit more flex or a little bit stiff. What do you want in these conditions?
Great question. And as it gets very large, we're gonna see kind of a difference. We're gonna see guys going for large, kind of stiffer boards so they don't flex, but we're also going to see guys who want a very soft board so that they can scoop into those large and extra large size waves. You know, if you brought a quiver here, you're planning on using something that has a little more flotation on a day like this, but here's Red.
Oh, nice clean wave down the face, down the beach, and clean roll right
nice
there before
roll.
it shuts down on her and bails out of that one. She's been on a tear this heat. It's good to see her shake off the dust from that last heat and come in here and putting it down.
I won't be surprised if she scoots herself into first position. She needs to drop that 3.25, and that was a nice roll. 4.25, a whole point a better. Now it's Neymara Carvalho in second place, needing a 5.26 to attack first position. And now Joanna needs a whole 4 point ride. There's the replay. Nice clean roll. She got some decent projection. Very smooth, and she was negotiating that warble, that kind of side wash that was happening. She negotiated it real well. Here's White with a nice roll, but incomplete for Joanna.
5 minutes remaining here. Oh, look at that. You can see the texture on the outside. The wind just holding steady on the outside and keeping it nice and glassy on the inside. Here are the scores on the screen, and it looks like Paola and Joanna, they need to pick it up just a little bit if they want to stay in the event. This is an elimination round. Woo, it's getting tight, coming down to the wire. Big shout out to Danielle, Raphael, and Yudi, some of the Journey bodyboard video game players are going to be showing face on June 25th at the Wright House, where we have a live tournament. It's going to be pretty fun to watch, so I'll talk more about that later. We are coming down to the wire. 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this heat. David, check this out the back.
Well, it's a good thing we're in the last heat of the day because the light is failing and it is getting dark. We're going to bring you the action for the next several minutes. And we're going to see who is moving on into round number 4 of the women.
Okay, here we go. It looks like Paola finding a nice clean left, nice clean bottom turn, punches through the lip, but cannot pull it off.
Wow, so critical, especially this late in the game. That could have been the 5-6 she needed to attack second, but
that's going to haunt her before bed tonight, that's for sure. Here's another look. Take us through it.
had she gone up a little earlier, she could have got that section, but she was just a little behind it, just a little bit through the lip. I think she was able to hold on for a good amount of time, but eventually was overpowered and overtaken, and an incomplete ride for yellow on her 4th wave.
Coming down to the 3-minute mark. Where are we currently as far as the scores?
Well, we still have red leading this heat, and Neymara in second. Joanna needs that 4-point ride in the final 3 minutes. Here's our heat leader on a beautiful left-hander.
Wow.
Nice spin. She's going to continue on. Gets a nice roll. And Manny, this was reminiscent of her 6. For me, I don't think it'll be quite as high, but that could push her even farther into the lead. Here's the replay.
I thought that lip clipped her legs and was just going to throw off her speed line, but she was able to maintain so much enough to get out onto the face of the wave, do a spin, and carry that speed up and through the lip with a nice clean combination. That was a roll at the end. That was a good ride, being the 4, 5, 6 range, but closer to the 4 range.
5.4.
There it is.
It extends her lead. She's just been clearly dominating this heat. Neymara Carvalho, previous world champion, needs now 6.4. Joanna Schenker still needs that 4.0 to overtake Neymara's second place position. Aura Simao in 4th place. She needs a big one.
Look at this. Nice
Joanna.
clean bottom turn. She knows her back is up against the wall. She needs that 4-point score. Was that enough? That was pretty clean. I think that could be enough in the last
Let's check the replay. Tons of speed. Big bottom turn. The wave actually kind of spit while she was doing it. Nice, clean roll. And I'll tell you something.
Wow.
There's been a heat change, but Neymara could turn it back. Joanna currently in second position, but Neymara might improve her situation with that last wave. We've got fireworks coming into the final minute.
Oh, my. Wait a second. Oh, Paola taking a look at that. That could have changed things as well. But, woo, coming down to the wire, it is Joanna and Neymara clawing at that second place spot, which is the advancement spot. 3rd and 4th, see you later. Taking a look here on the outside.
Here's our heat leader in red. Look at this beautiful left-hander, and she goes up through the lip on a huge section.
Oh.
Whoa.
That was a lot of power behind that explosion. Look at this. It's not over yet.
Sets
Paola,
coming in.
Oh, too far on the inside for Paola in the yellow jersey. So scores are coming in. Here's another look at Neymara.
Here's the replay. Nice spin, kind of underneath the lip a little bit. And then nice bottom turn, got up there. You know, the section didn't throw her out too much, but I tell you, this is right on the cusp of what she needs. We're still waiting for one more score to drop.
What did she need on that one?
She needs a 5.6. Joanna Schenker did take second position just momentarily because Neymara's wave that was right after Joanna's 5.1 does come in at a 5.75. Her campaign is still alive.
Wow.
She's moving on into round 4, and so is our competitor in red. Oh, here's the replay. So critical. This was an extremely critical part. I think that spin had a lot to do with the score because it was clean, it was in a critical section, and that roll is just icing on the cake. Wow.
The judges like the combination maneuvers on the waves, and yeah, Joanna almost causing an upset here in the early rounds of the women's division, but Neymara in the last minute and a half getting that solid wave.
And the heat is now over, and we do know that red and blue will move on through.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. And the moon is rising above Elephant Rock. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Sua concessionária SGA Toyota, com 26 anos de mercado, entende que para ser referência no segmento automotivo é preciso mais do que um excelente atendimento. Tem a ver com espírito. Nossa identidade é o espírito Viva Seu Toyota. Prezamos por um bom relacionamento com os nossos clientes para que eles se sintam felizes por serem proprietários de um Toyota. Esperamos que você também viva seu Toyota e se sinta livre para encarar qualquer desafio.
Well, we've had 2 awesome days of action, and we just brought you just a little taste of the live feed of what we're going to have for the next 4 days. We're still going to find out when we're going to go live again for the next 4 days of action, but you're going to find all of this out on the APB Tour Facebook page. Your thoughts so far on the action that you've seen?
Well, I think we've seen some great action. We just brought you that women's round 2 and 3, part of round 2 at least. And we've seen some great stuff in the men's trials that was completed today prior to the women's and prior to this broadcast. We've seen some great riding, Manny. We've seen some awesome stuff, and we are just so pleased to be here in Brazil at the Itacoatiara Challenge brought to you by Furnas. And this is just great, and we just can't wait to bring you more action.
All right, so day number 1 of the live feed and day number 2 of the action has been completed. Stay tuned. Again, check out the APB Tour Facebook page. That's where you're going to get all the updates for David Hubbard. And I'm Manny V. We're out of here.
Existe uma energia que impulsiona nossos atletas a irem além. É uma energia positiva, presente no ar, na água, no solo. Essa mesma energia que apoia o esporte brasileiro também impulsiona o Brasil. Essa é a energia de Furnas, uma empresa que acredita e investe no desenvolvimento do Brasil. Hoje, mais de 40% da energia do país passa por Furnas. E isso não para por aí, porque assim como os atletas que apoiamos, queremos ir sempre além. Furnas, energia que impulsiona o Brasil.
Experimente Cotton folha dupla. A suavidade e a maciez do algodão. Cotton, surpreenda-se.
Sua concessionária SGA Toyota, com 26 anos de mercado, entende que para ser referência no segmento automotivo é preciso mais do que um excelente atendimento. Tem a ver com espírito. Nossa identidade é o espírito Viva Seu Toyota. Prezamos por um bom relacionamento com os nossos clientes para que eles se sintam felizes por serem proprietários de um Toyota. Esperamos que você também viva seu Toyota e se sinta livre para encarar qualquer desafio.